Today, we explore how this date completely reshaped our world across five powerful dimensions: culture, education, finance, politics, and technology. This day proves that history never rests. Let's dive into the fascinating interconnected events of this date that continue to influence how we live, think, and innovate today. So, without much further ado, let's go.
When July rolls around, you mostly expect like the fireworks and the parades, the barbecues on the 4th.
Right, the whole neatly packaged day of American independence.
Exactly. But if you actually look at the historical calendar, celebrating the 4th is kind of like celebrating your birthday on the day the hospital finally filed your paperwork.
Rather than the day you were actually born.
Yeah, exactly. So, welcome to this custom deep dive. Today's mission is unpacking the hidden historical gravity of a single, highly unusual calendar date, which is July 2nd.
Because while the 4th definitely gets all the PR, July 2nd might actually be the most consequential and frankly chaotic day in global history.
It really is. Okay, let's unpack this. Because the real independence, the actual foundational concept of American freedom, that happened on July 2nd, 1776.
Yeah, that was when the Continental Congress officially voted for independence. I mean,
Okay.
John Adams even insisted that the 2nd would be the day future generations celebrated with, pomp and parade.
But nobody does.
No, nobody does. But what makes this date so fascinating isn't just the birth of a nation, it's really the beginning of this centuries-long struggle over control.
Right, control. Because exactly 1 year later, on July 2, 1777, Vermont became the first colony to ban slavery.
On paper, sure, it was this historic Declaration of Freedom,
But there's a catch, right?
a massive catch. So in reality, Vermont and a lot of other New England states simultaneously created these really harsh legal strictures.
Wow.
Yeah, so free black people faced severe systemic barriers to finding work or, owning property. The state basically relinquished formal ownership of people, but immediately established economic control over them.
So the legal intent was there, but the day-to-day reality remained deeply unfair.
Exactly.
Which, I mean, that makes a massive jump forward in history make a lot of sense because July 2nd remained this huge magnet for civil rights legislation.
He did. Fast forward to July 2, 1964.
The Civil Rights Act.
Right. Signed into law, outlawing discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, and national origin.
Okay, so what does this all mean for the people on the ground? Because I struggle with how much a single piece of paper actually accomplishes. Did signing a law on July 2nd genuinely change the violent reality overnight?
Well, no, not immediately. And
Yeah.
certainly not without violent resistance.
Like the Orangeburg Massacre.
Yes, exactly. A few years later, in 1968, college students in South Carolina were brutally attacked just trying to desegregate a bowling alley. I mean, prejudice just doesn't vanish with a signature.
Right.
But what's fascinating here is that mechanically, the act was a masterstroke of federal control. It relied heavily on the Commerce Clause of the Constitution.
Wait, meaning the federal government used its power to regulate trade across state lines to force social change?
Precisely. So think about it like this. If a private restaurant bought its ketchup from out of state,
It was participating in interstate commerce.
you got it. Therefore, the federal government could legally force that private business to integrate. It wasn't just a moral decree. It was this massive shift, a huge expansion of federal power to control the private sector.
Man, so this date, July 2nd, it just keeps popping up whenever the government flexes its muscle.
Oh, totally. Even decades earlier, on July 2, 1890, the government used that same legislative power to pass the Sherman Antitrust Act.
To combat corporate monopolies, right? Like
Right.
Standard Oil.
Exactly. But the irony of July 2nd is that while it highlights the immense power of institutions, it also completely exposes their fragility.
Are you talking about the Garfield assassination?
I am. July 2, 1881, President James A. Garfield gets shot in a Washington train station.
But the motive was just so bizarre.
It was. The shooter, Charles Guiteau, he wasn't some evil political mastermind. He was just this delusional, destitute guy who felt he was owed a consulship in Paris.
Like a mid-level diplomatic
It's
gig.
just a basic government job.
Yeah.
But because of the spoil system back then, where supporters were just handed jobs, A single disgruntled guy getting rejected literally upended the entire republic.
It's wild. A single calendar date hosts the peak of federal power-crushing monopolies and then the absolute vulnerability of that same government to a guy looking for a job.
Yeah.
And the ambition tied to this date, it isn't just political. I mean, it literally leaves the ground.
You're thinking of the Zeppelin.
I am. July 1900.
The maiden flight of the LZ-1, this massive 420-foot airship taking off over a lake in Germany.
I mean, it was wildly underpowered, right? It could barely steer.
Oh, it was a mess mechanically, but it proved humans could build these massive structures and defy gravity. We were finally taking control of the skies.
And honestly, it extends to the completely unknown, too. Because decades later, July 2nd was actually designated World UFO Day.
Right, linked to the 1947 Roswell incident.
Exactly.
So when you step back and look at it, July 2nd isn't just a list of random trivia. It's really the story of humanity's continuous struggle with control.
Yeah, over each other and the unknown.
From declaring independence and civil rights to busting monopolies, surviving assassinations, and, searching the skies for whatever else might be out there.
Which just shows you that history isn't neatly packaged. It's this messy web of overlapping triumphs and tragedies tied to seemingly random dates.
It really is.
Which leaves you, the listener, with an interesting question to explore. If so much world-altering history, I mean, from civil rights to Zeppelins happened on July 2nd, what hidden historical milestones are sitting undiscovered on your actual birthday?
That's a great point.
Yeah, I guess the real fireworks might just be hiding on a day you never expected.
Hi viewers, family and friends. How did you like the content of this video? Like the video and subscribe to the channel. Please write in the comments your name and the place you are watching from. Since our viewing family is spread all over the world, it will be nice to know which city and the country you are watching from, so I can say hello to you. Science and technology. Reading and listening to the historical accomplishments on this date of those who have gone before us, I, as a professional engineer with interest in structural engineering, energy-efficient buildings, ICF construction, and as Google Docs expert with interest in spreadsheet-based solutions, draw inspiration to ask of myself the million-dollar question. What would I accomplish today? Think about the Japanese practice of Kaizen. Let me know in the comments, what would you accomplish today? Your subscribing to the channel inspires me to post more such videos. Thanks for your patronage. See you in the next video. Sincerely, Yogi Anand.